I know and everyone else knows that you support and embrace the Puerto Rican Latino culture on this online radio program and has been doing so since day one.
Right.
You don't have to prove anything to me on that, knowing that I'm Latino. However, back in Boston, when we did radio shows as emails and text messages were coming in, we got the mofo haters always making up BS about us at the radio station.
Right.
We had hating ass mofos from Boston saying that DeMarco hates Puerto Ricans, Haitians, West Indians from the Caribbean. He hates parades, festivals, and carnivals from black and brown communities, which I find that hard to believe. Reading texts and emails that you hate gay people, you don't support our Boston Pride March, plus you hate local artists, local talent, DeMarco's not a full Bostonian, blah, blah, blah. To me, this is all crap. Because first of all, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm Dominican, I'm Latino. Yo soy Boricua pa que tú lo sepa. Orgullo Dominicano. If I knew that you, Mark, hated Puerto Ricans, my Puerto Rican Dominican ass would not be here.
Correct.
To me, this is really about what cities has the best parades and festivals. And for you, Mark, Boston is not one of them.
Hell no.
This is about mofos throwing us off our game plan.
Of course.
Once again, we're dealing with hating ass mofos who wants to have mind control over people where they just want to hear either a yes for Boston or I agree for Boston all the way when it comes to supporting just Boston and Boston only. I'd be like, what the fuck?
Excuse me?
And I'm sorry, lo siento. This is something I can't live by.
No.
If I'm not allowed to say no or I disagree with the city of Boston,
right,
and these event activities they put out for black and brown communities like they're perfect events in a perfect city that can never do wrong. To me, that is so absurd and full of total BS.
That's so insane.
Let's say you.
All right, well, first of all, and you're right, by the way, in what you said. If I hate Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Latinos, Haitians, Jamaicans, West Indians, and LGBTQ, according to what people in Boston said, that I hate their parades, festivals, and carnivals, why am I promoting and supporting the annual New York Puerto Rican Day Parade every year?
Exactly.
Why am I promoting two Puerto Rican artists from Lawrence, Massachusetts named 𝗡𝗘𝗪 and 𝗏𝗪 as reggaeton artists for the past 10 years? Why am I attending the Haitian Independence in Bushwick, Brooklyn? Flatbush, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Why am I attending and promoting the annual West Indian Carnival on Eastern Parkway in Crown Heights, Brooklyn? Why am I promoting the annual LGBTQ Pride March in New York City every year?
Haters just testing you, bruh.
So if I'm promoting all these cultural and pride events in NYC and the tri-state area over Boston events, that becomes more of a city thing than a race thing.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
number one. Number two, are there any laws that is legal on the books currently within the city of Boston, part of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, that says I have to support Boston events?
No.
Are there any laws currently on the books in the state of Massachusetts or in the city of Boston that can make me attend any local Boston event?
No.
So therefore, are going to those local Boston events an option for people who want to attend?
Absolutely.
Then why the hell some black and brown folks in Boston are trying to make that into a law of their own in our communities, that if I attend a Puerto Rican parade in New York, that means I hate Puerto Ricans back in Boston?
That don't make any sense.
Or if I attend a West Indian carnival in Brooklyn, that makes you hate West Indians back in Boston? Or
Wait a
if
minute.
I attend an annual LGBTQ Pride March in NYC, then you must hate gay people back in Boston?
This makes
You
no
see,
kind of sense.
Here's the problem on why I don't associate with Boston, because y'all don't want others back in that city be themselves and go where they feel comfortable.
Exactly.
First of all, being born and raised in Boston does not mean I have to lift a finger to help that city if they never saw me as human. And they never saw me as a human being.
There you go.
And that's one of the reasons why I stopped supporting Boston and stopped attending local Boston events. Second of all, you know why I support local black and brown events in local cities and states like New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, here in the tri-state area?
Why?
Because unlike Boston, there's no such thing as a watered-down Puerto Rican Day Parade in NYC. There's no such thing as a watered-down Haitian Independence March in Brooklyn. There's no such thing as a watered-down LGBTQ Pride March in New York City. There's no such thing as a watered-down West Indian Carnival in the heart of Brooklyn. All black and brown parades, festivals, and carnivals are watered down to please the white establishment in the city of Boston. That's a known fact. Only 3 major events that are not watered down in the city of Boston. That's the annual St. Patrick's Day Parade, the annual Chinese New Year's Lunar Parade, thanks to Boston Mayor Michelle Wu.
Of course.
And the annual Boston Marathon,
Right.
which is a worldwide international event.
Yes, it is.
Those are one of 3 big, huge annual events that are not watered down compared to black and brown local events in Boston.
That's true.
When you look at New York City, Puerto Ricans kick ass with their annual parade.
Hell yeah.
They are the #1 Puerto Rican event in the Northeast.
Yep.
The Hartford Puerto Rican Parade and Festival in Connecticut is #1 in New England.
Yeah, yeah.
Boricuas kick ass ass in their parades and festivals.
You already know.
The Puerto Rican Festival in Springfield, Massachusetts is #1 in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, beating Boston's Puerto Rican Parade and Festival. I wonder why. Boricuas in the city of Springfield, Massachusetts are kicking ass, kicking culo. Unlike Boston, they ain't watering down nothing. They bringing out the whole entire culture of Puerto Rico, and as they should. That's the way it should be. Unlike Boston, Haitians back in Brooklyn, despite what's going on in Haiti, ain't watering down nothing. They bringing out the whole entire culture of Haiti, representing the Haitian people. And as they should. 𝗧𝗂𝗪. Same goes for the West Indians in New York. They ain't watering down nothing.
Hell no.
They're bringing out the whole entire culture of the West Indies.
You ain't lying.
Jamaica, Barbados, Haiti, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, Dominica, the Bahamas. Whatever West Indian island you're from, you're going to represent for your people. You don't water down your culture for no city. Sadly, Boston has watered down black and brown events throughout the years.
Unfortunately.
It ain't what it used to be like it was back in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. The difference between Boston and New York events when it comes to black and brown folks. NYC, New York City, is about that business and want a chunk piece of that money they're getting from the black and brown communities in these 5 boroughs to help push the culture and promote these annual events. That's big money for them. That's big money for the city, parade organizers, and for black and brown folks making that money, participating in their events. But in Boston, do you know how long the city of Boston has been trying to cancel the West Indian Carnival, claiming that there's too much violence every year? Cambridge, Massachusetts, across the Charles River, also made that claim about too much violence during the West Indian Carnival. Therefore, we must shut it down or cancel that event. We don't want it.
New York City don't ever shut down their West Indian carnivals in Brooklyn despite of the violence, because that would be a loss of revenue for them.
But the West Indian Carnival in Brooklyn has improved with less violence for the 2nd year in a row due to the increased presence of the NYPD. But at the same time, NYC or Brooklyn for that matter did not water down their carnival for the exception of the pandemic 3 years ago.
That's the only time.
Sadly, in my opinion, Boston watered down all these black and brown events because of gentrification to please white folks moving back in the city.
Of course.
As for gentrification in Brooklyn, they don't mind having a huge West Indian carnival, but only on one condition. They also want a piece of that money the city and carnival are bringing in.
Of course, that's the only way.
That's the difference between Boston and New York City.
Because we know New York City is about money. Make no mistake. That is all about business.
They've been about that
Boston
business.
ain't really trying to do business with Negroes. Are you kidding me? And we wonder why Boston is still a racist city. I don't care how diverse Boston is. Racism ain't never left the city.
That's right.
And if you think that way, I have a bridge in Brooklyn I want to sell to you. Better yet, I have a Zachem Bridge in Boston I want to sell to you. If you really believe that Boston is no longer a racist city, you are fooling yourself, which we all know it is alive and well. We need to wake up.